Mario Kart 8 is almost 10 years old, and with its re-release in 2017 with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it has become the highest selling game, selling over 55.46 million copies sold. That's absolutely insane for a decade-year-old game. Mario Kart Wii might be my favorite Mario Kart, mostly for nostalgic reasons, but Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is by far the best Mario Kart game. And 5 years after its release, we got DLC doubling the track selection from 48 to 96, bringing over old tracks from past generations of Mario Kart, and even bringing over some tour tracks to preserve them. But which one of these tracks are the best? That's what we're gonna find out. But first, some ground rules. I'll be ranking these tracks based off music, layout, and difficulty. Second, these are all my opinions, guys. I don't want you guys complaining about how DK's backyard swimming pool isn't in the top 96. Thirdly, I played all these tracks on 150 instead of 200cc since all the tracks were mostly meant for 150cc, and I played with all of these rule sets and these items because if I get hit by a blue shell and lose the race, I might rank the track low, and that wouldn't be fair. And it's not a skill issue, guys. Finally, I'll be ranking them on a tier list again, starting with the F tiers. The last place track and overall worst track in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is 96 Excitebike Arena. By far, the worst Mario Kart 8 Deluxe track. This is such a boring track. It's just a circle with ramps. All you do is hold the A button. The difference between this garbage and Baby Park is that at least Baby Park is shorter. The only redeeming factor about Excitebike is the music, which is pretty good. 95. Another boring track, Tokyo Blur. By far the worst Booster Course Pass track. There's no shortcut except for a ramp on the first and second lap. But on the third lap, you only go on a highway. And speaking of highways, number 94, Toad's Turnpike sucks ass. It's just a figure eight before figure eight. There's cars, which sure, whatever. There's better car tracks that take place at night. The only redeeming factor is that sometimes there's a glider car which you can go over a section. Number 93, I'm surprised you're not in last, but Animal Crossing sucks. I don't like it. The only good season is winter because at least it still looks good, but I hate the stupid ice physics. They're so obvious. But if there's one thing I have to say that's good about it is when it ends. Originally, I placed Merry Mountain in 37th, but then I played the track again, and then I remembered how much this track sucks. Yeah, I know this is biased since I have bad luck with this track, but that doesn't change shit. I still hate this dumb shitty fucking shit. This track is so bad, I didn't even want to write its part in the script. I reused this section from the last video. Number 91, Dry Desert is both a bad track and a fraud. The track isn't dry as its name suggests. There's an oasis right there. I want a damn refund. Out of all these tracks, you look at this. Number 90, Toad Circuit. Bad. It looks bad. It has a bad layout. The music is good, and that's all I can really say. And those were our F tiers. When making the Booster Course Pass worst to best video, I didn't put a single track in F tier, because I'm comparing them to the rest of the tracks in the Booster Course Pass. But when you're comparing the entire game, then some tracks are bound to reach F tier. But now we're starting with the D tiers. Starting with the worst D tier, Bone Dry Dunes. What the actual fuck? This track is so unnecessary. This is just a filler track. There's a path that nobody takes, there's a ramp that nobody can get to, and this track is just bad. Sherbet Land is another track I think is bad. What's that? Sherbet Land? No, that's the N64 track. We're talking about the GCN version. And it's boring, cool underwater section, but that's kinda it. Next up we got Sunset Wilds, another fucking fraud. Why doesn't the sun go down? Another thing I have against GBA Wilds is the layout. The original version has this layout that kinda looks like a piranha plant, and I thought it looked kinda funny. But what the fuck is this? My least favorite of all the Wii tracks. I don't like Grumble Volcano. Sure, I think it's cool that the track slowly falls apart throughout the race, but I don't know. I don't care for this map. SNES Mario Circuit 3. I like it, but if you're comparing it to the rest of the tracks, yeah, I don't give a damn about this track. Bro thinks he's trying to replace Luigi's Mansion. Twisted Mansion looks fine, but I don't care. Why is there an underwater section? I know everyone asks this, but if it wasn't there, then nobody would have to ask. DS Cheap Cheap Beach is another boring track. The only part I remember is a boardwalk, and after that, I don't know, something about a jungle? Sky High Sunday's fine, the anti-gravity does it well, even though it's completely unnecessary. It's Fall Guys, but the shortcut is pretty good. Water Park. What a name. The only thing I do like about this track is the Waluigi Seabed coaster. Why couldn't they made a track based on that? Where's the Waluigi coaster? The other Wave 1 Tour City track. I do like Paris Promenade. We even get to see the Eiffel Tower and even get to drive backwards. But compared to the other city tracks, except Tokyo, they're just way better. If there's one thing I can say about TikTok Clock is that the visuals are great. Besides that, I never really liked TikTok Clock. When I was younger, I only played TikTok Clock because N64 Rainbow Road was in the same cup, and I only played the Grand Prix. But I just don't care for this track. Again, I don't care for Bangkok Rush. I do like it more than the Wave 1 cities, and I do like how it's not all roads, but I feel like it's mostly forgettable. Now we're on to the C-tier tracks. These are tracks I think are good, and starting us off will be Wee Moo Moo Meadows. Meadow fans, stay strong. Look at this track. I love how it takes place in the sunrise in an early Kentucky farm, producing the best damn moo moo milk ever made. This is a sweet track. Fuck you guys, I'm funny. This track is candy themed, which is bound to attract all the candy lovers. Not me, I was raised in a chocolate family, and we love our rich and creamy M&Ms. So next time bring me a rich and creamy valley. Oh wait. Dolphin Shoals is that one track everyone talks about for the music. And although the music is fucking incredible, you only hear it for a while. And the rest is an underwater track, which I'm not really a fan about. I think the different paths you could take are fun, but that's about it. Peach Gardens. I mean, you're alright. Even though you've been severely simplified, but I guess it's cool you go backwards. But why do you need to go backwards, Peach Gardens? Is it because you want to stand out? Are you that bad of a track you need a feature to make people like you? I'm on to you! I bet y'all are surprised to see Sunshine Airport at 73rd place. Yeah, I don't know why either. It's fun, don't get me wrong. I just think it's a bit overrated. I do think it's cool we get to drive through an airport, but overrated. Another track I find overrated, 3DS Music Park. I like the track Driving on a Piano Makes the Sound. We got Bopping Piranha Plant, weird note things who jump on beat. I mean, what's not to love? Electrodrome. Alright, comment down below if you call this track Electrodome. That would make more sense, right? But I'll say it, I don't like Electrodrome's music. I don't know, it's just not my type of music I'd put in the Atomic playlist. And I am willing to put Mario Kart tracks in the playlist. 2 of the 96 OSTs have made the Atomic playlist, which is pretty impressive. But Electrodrome just isn't that guy. GCN Yoshi Circuit? I don't get it. Oh, that's cute, having the layout be a cut of the Yoshi. Kinda makes you wish they did it with other tracks. I guess GBA Luigi Circuit does that, but I'd say it looks more like an orange. Based on all that, the track is fun and pleasant to drive on. I know I said bring me a chocolate track, but this isn't what I meant. With the graphics of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, N64 Choco Mountain just looks like a regular mountain with dirt. There's even shiny diamonds in a cave. Now let me ask you, how many times have you found diamonds in your average bar of chocolate? Exactly. This music slaps. Mario Kart 8 didn't have to go this hard on a forgettable track like Shroom Ridge. This is one of the best tracks from the first wave. They even added a few shortcuts to spice up this track. I feel like it's a crime how high Mario Circuit is. It's just another figure 8. But what carries this track is the anti-gravity. While driving, you don't really notice it, but when you're playing Mario Circuit and reach the anti-gravity section, pay attention to the background. I love seeing it twist sideways like if you were on a roller coaster. And you don't notice this stuff while driving, but you will notice if you pay close attention to the background. Then we got Mario Stadium. Just another Mario Circuit, but it takes place at night. And I like when tracks take place during the night. It just feels more aesthetic. And when you reach the anti-gravity section, it looks so weird looking at the background and seeing the stadium sideways. Next up we got Wild Woods, the sequel to Maple Treeway. And does it live up to the legacy? Well, no. But it does a pretty good job at being a C tier. You start off at the side of a tree and go inside of the tree in a river. Then you drive on some leaves. Pretty great, but it cannot replace the Treeway. Take what I said about Shroom Ridge and turn it to 63. Moonview Highway music is fucking incredible. Truly a soundtrack worthy of the Atomic playlist. And the layout, despite not being the best, is definitely better than Toad's Turnpike, which is just what this track is. N64 Toad's Turnpike, but better. I'm surprised Rome Avanti is this low. Then again, it is just another city track, and at this point, I think we're all tired of these tracks. It isn't even the best city that takes place at night. There are just so much better tracks Rome has to compete against, and I don't see it winning anytime soon. That ends our C tiers, and now we're on to the tier with the most tracks, the B tier. And our lowest B tier track is another Wave 6 track? I don't get Piranha Plant Cove. I mean, there's like 2 Piranha Plants in total. They could have named this track Stone Ruin, since there's more stone in that track than Piranha Plants. But now that I think about it, Piranha Plants have been dominating Mario. First the Song and Wonder, then they get 2 tracks based off them. Even then, I just don't get Piranha Plant Cove. This has the red arrows making it like the city tracks, which makes it the most unique non-city nitro track, but it also makes it more like a city track, which, why? Yoshi Valley. This is a fun maze, even though everyone just takes the same path, it's still fun to take other routes. It unfortunately doesn't have the charm of centering the placement like in the original, but Yoshi Valley will always have my respect for trying something different and succeeding. Is it just me, or does no one talk about DK Jungle? It's just forgettable compared to other DK tracks like DK Summit, DK Mountain, or Backyard Swimming Pool, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. 3DS Neo Bowser City. I'm surprised you landed this high. In the beginning of last year, you were one of my least favorite tracks in this game. Good job redeeming yourself with your graphics and fun shortcut. Besides that annoying turn on 200cc, this track is good. I never got the gist of Dragon Drift Way, but I do like the dragon from Mario Galaxy, and the anti-gravity is used really creatively with the dragon being the layout. A fun track. Wait, Lakitu? This is a charming track. GBA Snowland, fun shortcuts, fun music, fun graphics, and penguins. It almost makes you forget the original version on GBA. Berlin Byways is a pretty decent track. While most of the track is road, it has some fun sections. The train station, the park, those are fun. But the music carries this track, and it carries it a lot. Not all tracks need anti-gravity to be good, and SNES Donut Plains 3 is a perfect example of that. You can choose wherever you want to go. You don't have to stay on the road. There's also a part where the ground is wet. I don't know what happened there. Maybe it was raining on the other Donut Plains. Who knows? Wee Daisy Circuit. Okay, this is a fun track, don't get me wrong, but I would have rather preferred to play on Dry Ruins, because at least we would have a good desert track. With Daisy Circuit, we have every track from the Mario Kart Wii Star Cup and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's a good track, but another circuit in the last wave? This is a good remake. N64 Royal Raceway is really fun. We've got the glider, the shortcut, and the castle you can't go into. Why the fuck? I am surprised how good this track actually is. Thwomp Ruins seems like it could just be another boring track, maybe with like 2 thwomps, but no, there's split paths and then there's this wheel. DS Mario Circuit. What a glow up. The fire Piranha Plant's fire is actually a threat, and there's a forest with a little Sleepy Wiggler. Did this track take Airship Force's place? Yeah, but little Sleepy Wiggler, the track nobody likes for some reason, Ice Outpost. It's good, and I'm tired of pretending it's not. The dual green and yellow roads are fun, and the shortcuts are risky, but worth getting. Stop hating on Ice Outpost. I heard some guy spent 50 hours there. Next up is Tour Sky Garden. What's that? It's a GBA track? What are you talking about? They look nothing alike. This is a fun track. I'm not a fan of the bouncy leaves, and there's just a track that does this way better. I like New York Minute. I don't know what this track has that Rome doesn't, but it's probably that jazz remix. I'm a sucker for it. Vancouver Velocity. I love the suspension bridge and the hockey rink, but I feel like the rest of the track is just forgettable. It's just road at night. From one tour track to another, Amsterdam Drift is fun. We got a train, we got canals, a flower field. The end is kind of bad, but besides that, this is a solid track. Riverside Park is a fun and basic track. On 200cc, it's fun, but it's gone way too fast. In 150cc, it feels slow, but it still feels pretty fun. We got some patuis or whatever they're called, and also the music slaps. Madrid Drive surprisingly surprised me. If there's one way to best describe Madrid Drive, it would be the better Berlin Byways. It just has so many similarities. They drive on the road. In Madrid Drive, there's even a section that looks like Berlin Byways. Madrid has a cool art gallery, some kind of mall, and even a soccer field with Goombas. even though I feel like that part's kind of overrated. But Berlin Byways will always have the better music. The OG Piranha Plant track. 3DS Piranha Plant slide is fun and actually has Piranha Plants. The best part about this track is how it's based off the original Super Mario Bros. And specifically 1-2, or the underground section. It even has an underwater section. And coming out of there, there's tons of retro Mario references. The flagpoles, and even the retro castle. The only Bowser castle for a while. When I first played this track, I loved it because I like the rock music and the anti-gravity section. And how can you forget the Bowser statue? But nowadays, I mean, it's fine. I feel like it tries to do too much. And it doesn't really feel like a Bowser's castle. It feels more like a Bowser rock concert. Which, now that I think about it, this track did predict Jack Black as Bowser. Koopa Cape is fun, though expected. Come on, who didn't see this track coming? We got Coconut Mall, Mushroom George, and Maple Treeway. If we didn't get Koopa Cape, that would have been a bigger surprise. Although the pipe section is still underwater, it's an anti-gravity, even adding half pipes. But compared to the other Wii tracks, well, I mean, it sure does. You had one last chance to add Wario Shipyard or Waka Woohoo, and you add this? Literally nobody expected Rosalina's Ice World. And that's because why would they? The Prefix leak said that there wouldn't be any more 3DS tracks. But I guess they added this track for the winter aesthetic, which, okay. At that point, they should just save DK Summit for Wave 6. But Rosalina's Ice World is still a solid track. Next up, we got the track that doesn't exist, Rock Mountain. And that isn't real, hate to break it to you. The cool shortcut at the end where you can fly over the pipes doesn't exist. Pretty ironic a rock track isn't a rock mushroom cup though. From now on, we are in the A tiers, which actually has the most tracks in it. Whoops. And we got Kalimari Desert. My god, this is a great track. In the second lap, the track changes and you get to drive on the track. How cool is that? The only thing holding this track back is the first lap being bland. Yeah, it's the original Kalimari Desert, but original Kalimari Desert is just boring. GT and Daisy Cruiser has to be one of my favorite GameCube tracks of all time. Its remake, however, feels like it's missing something, and I don't know what it is. It's got a pool with Goombas taking a swim. The separate path with one of them being an aquarium is cool, but I can't help but feel like something's missing. Maple Treeway is what Wild Woods wishes it was. You can't just replace perfection. They did get rid of the net bridge at the end, but I think the return of the half pipes more than makes up for it. The music is great too, though I wish they had one more wiggler in that section since they feel too easy, but it's fine either way. Oh hell yeah, Wii DK Summit fucking slaps! And it's only in 34th place! Makes you wonder how the other tracks are. DK Summit's half pipes are the best used half pipes that could ever be used. I could have said that better, but whatever. And we'll get to another track that almost does the half pipes better. But DK Summit has Snowboarding Shy Guys, and it's still not the best DK track. I don't know why London Loop is so disliked. It's got some of the best music in the game. I also like its layout. Does it look complex? Yeah, but it also has chain chops and it's foggy. I like this track, and none of you guys will convince me otherwise. Where is London again? Oh, so that's why everyone hates it. DS Wario Stadium just hits different. After not liking his original design, Wario decided to invest and remodel his stadium. And what we got was just way better than just mud and PNGs of Wario's face. We got Wario spending the big bucks, even got himself an anti-gravity section and even filled up a pool. Wanna know why they never remade Wario Stadium? Well, they did, just back in DS. Cloud Top Cruise is just way better Sky Garden. It even does the leaf shortcut better. We drive through a thunderstorm, and the music even has pieces of Gusty Garden Galaxy. And when you're adding Galaxy into your soundtrack, you're bound to place high on the ranking. Coconut Mall is the Mario Kart track. Ask anyone if they know Coconut Mall. If the 83% of people that don't rob you say yeah, then you'll be having a blast playing this track. However, I do recommend playing this track on 200cc since it just feels more natural than 150cc. How did Wario afford his stadium? Well, with his gold mine, of course! A gold mine is such a perfect location to describe Wario. He's such a greedy specimen, and of course he would have his own gold mine. This track feels like a roller coaster with the anti-gravity and minecarts that don't fuck you over like in Wii. They help you out. I guess Wario does care about his worker safety. Either that or he doesn't want to pay repercussions. Cheeseland. Yeah, it's just a desert, but would you rather play on this or this? I always liked this track, and now that they fixed bagging, this track is finally playable. DK Mountain is such a base track. The volcano looks incredible, and so does the rest of this track. The shortcut is doable, and the ramps are now part of the mountain instead of just being wooden ramps like on Wii. One problem I have with this track is the bridge. It feels weird, and I find it hard to trick off of. Maybe I'm just bad, I don't know. This placement is temporary, but GCN Baby Park is great. it isn't even a racetrack, it's a war zone. You're constantly being hit with items and hitting people with items. There's not much skill involved with this track. Just hope you survive, and to those of you who can't, best of luck and farewell. Athens Dash isn't like the other city tracks. You don't just drive on the streets, you drive on the ruins, there's a theater, and even a cliffside for you to drive. You don't see Tokyo Blur pulling that off, do you? Mushroom George is another great track, bouncing off mushrooms, and there's even a blue mushroom from Mario Kart 7 you can glide from. They even have the gap cut. If only this track was a tad bit longer. GBA Mario Circuit is such an underrated track. I hear nobody talk about it, and why? The music slaps. It even references some of Nintendo's toys. The thing used to live part of the track was an actual Nintendo product that they made in the 60s or 70s. I can't really remember. This track even has a small pit stop with a boost panel and an item box. This is probably the best Mario Circuit, competing with 3DS's for the crown. Back in 2014, Toad Harbor was probably the best basic Mario Kart track in Mario Kart 8. And what's not to love? You got a nice marketplace, some streets, and even some trolleys. One for Mario, Luigi, and Wario, which kinda makes me wish they had Waluigi trolley. But you can even go on the same path as the trolleys. It might not be the fastest, but it sure is the funnest. Maybe I was a bit too harsh on Ninja Hideaway. Sorry? I never realized how much fun Ninja Hideaway truly was. This track isn't bad, it's just a square. And you know how I feel about squares. We got Ninja Shy Guys, Bamboo with air coming out, and even Garlic? Wario, what the hell are you up to? What are you gonna have next, a pool? Rainbow Road. I know everyone doesn't like this Rainbow Road, and I agree. It's not a good Rainbow Road. But that doesn't mean it's a bad track. It takes place at a space station in space, and most of the track is in anti-gravity. There's even a fun shortcut you can take between those two separate paths. This track is fun, just not Rainbow Road status. From the newest Rainbow Road to the oldest, SNES Rainbow Road used to not be my favorite. I was mostly scared of falling off the edge. And now that I'm the best Mario Kart player known to man, don't quote me, I think this track is better than I expected. It's still pretty bland, but it's a SNES track. They will always be bland. Well, at least until Waluigi Pinball. It's great. Love the theming, the design, the layout. Only problem is the lack of shortcuts. And I know most people are upset that it shares the same music as Wario Stadium, but like, what did you expect? Did you really think Nintendo would make another soundtrack? Anyways, this pinball machine is fun and nostalgic, as I played both the DS and 3DS versions when I was younger. Now, a track whose game I have no nostalgia for is Yoshi's Island. What a great track. The music, the theme, and the references. Like I said, I never played Yoshi's Island, and the fact that this is a good track shows that this track is good for all kinds of people. As long as you're good at the game, of course. GBA Boo Lake is fucking incredible. Not only do you have the lake, but you also get to drive in the lake too. This track looks like a base game track. This is an underwater track I'm excited to play. And that's saying something since I'm not a big fan of them. Then, there's the great ending, which is just satisfying to trick off those ramps. Tracks like these is why I love Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. LA Laps is fun. It's a section track like Maka Woohoo. Why does nobody talk about that? We start on the pier, fly over Dodger Stadium, but I feel like there should have been a section where we drive in Hollywood instead of the oil rig. That could have made LA Laps an S-tier track. Hey boss, so, about that new F-Zero game. Well, the deadline is tomorrow.
What? How far are we in development?
Well, we only finished 2 of the tracks.
Yeah, f*** it, just cancel the game.
Well, what about these tracks? And that's how we got Mute City. This track is fast and crazy. This is one of the few tracks where you can outrun a blue shell. The entire track is in anti-gravity, so there's this weird gravity thing when you drop slower, which is cool. Another thing I realized while playing this track is that Mute City, alongside with the other F-Zero track, have no coins on the track at all. Instead, they have these lanes, which I think are pretty cool. The people over at Sydney Sprint cooked making this track. The music slaps, the layout is great too, and it's not too complicated like London Loop, but they have so much still. A station, a park, even an opera house. I hope they continue making tracks like these. Hey, so apparently I forgot to write Super Bell Subway's part in the script. Whoops me. But yeah, I think it's pretty solid. I like the track. Love the train aesthetic. And it also connects to lore. Like, you know, there's like that thing with the thing that's like connected. Yeah, something about lore. And then, well, I mean, it's kind of it, but it's still a really good track. Hyrule Circuit, another banger? I've only played a little bit of Breath of the Wild. And that's basically all my memories of Legend of Zelda. Instead of the coins, you got these emeralds. And you even go inside the castle. You even see the Master Sword. Afterwards, just some turns, and yeah, great track. Both Hyrule Circuit and GBA Ribbon Road were originally meant to be in the S tier, but I decided that only the top 10 Mario Kart tracks can be in the S tier. But GBA Ribbon Road is still the best base game retro track. If you look at the original Ribbon Road, it looks lame, but the remake looks awesome. We got 3 different colors, and this track takes place in a child's bedroom where you can see all the toys the child has, and there's even 3 Yarn Yoshis. Great way to fix a mid-track. Now we're on to not only our S tiers, but our top 10 Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tracks. Number 10, N64 Rainbow Road. Back in the original Mario Kart 8, this was my favorite track, but now I still think it's a beautiful track. The music is by far the best Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has given us. They even gave us fireworks of all the Mario characters. The only thing holding this track back is that this track is only 1 lap. I get that the original Rainbow Road on 64, the entire track was 3 laps and it was boring. I would know, I played it. But they should have at least made Rainbow Road like 2 laps. I'll say it, I like GCN Waluigi Stadium more than Waluigi Pinball. This track just looks so much better, and the half pipes aren't useless like in Wii. They added anti-gravity platforms, and you can even end with a glider on the second platform. Waluigi definitely has some of the best tracks ever made. SNES Bowser Castle 3. Most SNES tracks are remade as flat surfacing, but holy shit, they cooked with Bowser Castle 3. Not only is this the only other Bowser Castle, and they made a damn good choice. Look at this track. You can't tell me it's an SNES track. If this is what SNES Bowser Castle 3 looks, then what the fuck is your excuse, Mario Circuit 3? Shy Guy Falls has the best use of anti-gravity. Look at this. When you want to drive on that, well, here you go. Not satisfied, drive on 2. There's also a cave you can take as a shortcut if you're skilled enough, and there's even Shy Guys who sing along to the song. Squeaky Clean Sprint is a fun track that takes place in the bathroom, and I love all the split paths you can take. Using a bidet, you can go to the top shelf, or stay driving on towels. On the top shelf, on the right, there's some boost panels and a mushroom. You drive on the bathtub and in the sewers, which are underwater. Luckily, they don't overstay their welcome as you come out to the floor. I really want to see other tracks of the house being used as a racetrack, like maybe even a living room, or a kitchen, or a backyard. We're in the end game now. Coming in at number 5, we have Wii Rainbow Road, and coming in at number 4, we have 3DS Rainbow Road. These tracks can be interchanged, because I really cannot decide which is better. For now, 3DS Rainbow Road is ahead, because it has such a better layout, but Wii's Rainbow Road has the better music. Another reason 3DS Rainbow Road is ahead of Wii Rainbow Road is because Wii Rainbow Road is 3 laps, so you'll be playing the same track 3 times. However, 3DS Rainbow Road is a section track. You drive through planets, asteroids, even drive on the moon. While the Wii Rainbow Road has Mario Galaxy music, and the entire track takes place in anti-gravity, which makes it easier to take shortcuts. And you can't forget about that half-pipe jump. But while Wii Rainbow Road is the best course, 3DS Rainbow Road is the best adventure. Coming in at our 3rd place and bronze for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, we have Tour Singapore Speedway, the best booster course pass and tour track in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It has some of the best music ever made by anywhere else, which is not in the Atomic playlist, surprisingly. Why haven't I done that? Singapore Speedway isn't like the other tour tracks. It takes place at night, but we get shot out of a cannon, drive on our rooftop pool with Goombas, drive through Chinatown where the music cooks, and this is just 3 minutes of fun and enjoyment. So that's what Wario invested in. Bro has an entire mountain named after him, and he picked a damn good mountain. You drive down the mountain from a helicopter into a cave, a dam, a forest, and even a damn skier section. This is definitely the best track ever made, but in 2015, DLC was added to Mario Kart 8, and the final track added until the Booster Course Pass is Big Blue, the best Mario Kart 8 Deluxe track. They had no right going this damn hard. The music, the layout, it's another section track where you go from one side to another like Mount Wario. But while Mount Wario focuses on the mountain section, Big Blue has its own theme, speed. Right off the bat, you're in anti-gravity and you make your way through some conveyors. Then you go into some water slide and even take some shortcuts. Then you're glided into the final lap where the jazzy feel of the intense OST goes insane. And just like that, the track is finished. Big Blue and Mount Wario are forever going to be known as the best tracks in Mario Kart ever made. Better than any nostalgic pinball machine or insane mall. Even with the Booster Course Pass, The best track was only able to make it 3rd, which isn't a bad placement at all, but it cannot compete with the 2 best tracks in the entire series, and I respect Mario Kart 8 for having the best damn tracks ever made. Well, here we are. We finished Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Wow, what a trip. 96 total tracks, and now Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has finished its last wave. I cannot believe it. It felt like just 9 years ago I got my Wii U and my copy of Mario Kart 8. It was such a fun game and now it's over. I guess this is where I say, goodbye Mario Kart 8. You've been fun. But now what? My entire channel was based around this game, and Mario Kart 9 doesn't come out for another 8 years, so now what? This is awesome.